Hello, welcome. Today we're doing more MSQ of Endwalker Final Fantasy XIV. And yeah, doing a duty. So let's get into it.
Ilsabad, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly? On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius, the winds howl in icy protest as if to warn against further trespass.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus' death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into two groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Meanwhile, at the Imperial Supply Depot.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Miss Stoller always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks. All right. Once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. The blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck. Keep your wits about you. It's time.
We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count. Must be losing my touch. Damn, spotted. Damn, spotted. Seven hells. Seven hells.
Not good. Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ.
Not like this.
Okay, I gotta figure out this stealth thing. Stealth thing. Ah.
Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Seven hells.
Oh, they give me a smoke bomb. It doesn't work, man. Sure. Okay.
Seven hells.
Okay, so I can't skip it.
Damn, spotted.
I might as well take him out. Hold on. There we go, I figured it out, finally. Okay, it doesn't work on those. Now I know. Now I know. Okay. It's gonna be real close.
Damn, spotted.
I gotta wait longer for the bug. Okay. So I think I got this.
Damn, spotted.
Okay, so this thing sees me no matter what, so it's a DPS check and I failed. Nope. I can do that.
No, not yet.
Okay. I'm slowly getting it.
Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count. Must be losing my touch.
Much better this time, okay.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Seven hells.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
Few moments later, at the rear of Ilsbard's contingent supply caravan.
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but... Wait! Something's coming!
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
Fighters! Protect the others! A brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger. Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
We're the only ones still struggling. Time we put our backs into it then. I've been itching for a good scrap. We're fine. I'm ready for more. Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
Meanwhile, on the front line.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal. In time. The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
That's for Gilia! Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them!
I was wondering when you'd turn up. There's no stopping us now. Come on, let's show them what we're made of.
We have them now! Forward!
Right! Let them have it!
As a raging bull!
That's her! For Gilia!
Do not fall behind!
tremble before the sun!
Okay.
A worthy adversary! Rest! Recover! Reclaim yourself! Then we will fight again! To the death!
Sadu Hatun!
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan? Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kovosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated. The chosen forsaken. In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech Revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed, bitterly so.
Garlemald.
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Sorry, I'm feeling rather unwell. Shouldn't be long before we have a half-decent camp with so many helping hands. I was concerned the snow might hinder our progress, but our Ishgardian friends are used to working in conditions like these. In spite of the obstacles we faced, our plan proceeds at pace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for our purpose, we are to discuss our course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Ystrola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of the camp? Alizai and I will meet you there. Our comrades certainly haven't wasted any time establishing a base of operations. Meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head has cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts ever since we arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. 'Tis the monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying. Ether flows unceaselessly towards it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping me anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. You will be pleased to know most of the tempered have been quartered inside the nearby building and are receiving treatment even as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sight of trouble, though it seems to me they left far too many useful possessions behind. Although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking out loud. You mentioned a meeting. I will make my way there. Oh my. Hell's bells, this place is bloody freezing. Rather be tied to the topmast in a storm than suffer this cold any longer. Anyone what can spare a swig of rum? That'll sort me right out. The tempered soldiers are sleeping soundly while they undergo treatment. There are too many to attend at once, but I and the other healers will see to all eventually. Virgila is in our care, along with the rest of the tempered. Glory to Garlemald, glory to Garlemald. They will whisper in their sleep, even as they writhe in pain. Uba taught me a lot about military strategy during exercises in the fringes, coordinating units with the wildly different capabilities, surveying and securing hostile terrain, that sort of thing. Now I have the chance to put his teachings into practice. We've asked the Ironworks members and some of our comrades to stay with the airship. In the event we are discovered, we must be ready to move them swiftly to a safer location. This is all that remains of Laterum. Homes become empty houses. If this is the state of the outlying villages, I dread to think what has become of the capital. Laterum. Okay, that's the name of this place. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
Oh, my bad. 1 second.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers on their ministrations. Of course, I will require a porxia of my own, assuming you can spare.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that can keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Pass. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields. I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
I've never thought of myself as much of an explorer, though I suppose my adventures have taken me to all sorts of strange and distant places. That in mind, traversing an ice field should be a simple feat. Thancred and the other scouts are all equipped with link pearls, that they may communicate with us in case of an emergency. Of course, we will all prefer they not place themselves in danger to begin with, but such is the nature of their work. It was not the Garleans who named this place, but the Elben Rhyme, but rather nomadic peoples in times gone by. When my ancestors were forced to migrate here, they refused to accept this land as their new homeland. As such, they made a conscious decision to retain the original name. Though the meaning of Ablen has been lost over the years, it has been theorized that it refers to the harsh conditions here, in much the same way the Magna Glacis was named. One thing, however, is certain: both regions are equally hazardous, so I bid you take all due care. There's this odd perception that Ishgardians have lived their whole lives in the snow, but it really wasn't that bad before the calamity. And afterwards, well, I was rarely more than a few paces from a raging fire. This dreadful place, on the other hand, is nothing but cold, cold, cold. And it's my understanding that Ishvard has always been this way. Gods, can you imagine? Many of us took quite a beating on the Magna Glacis, but we all helped each other hobble through the snow and wind, sparing nary a thought for which delegation we each belong to. From now, we're all firm comrades through thick and thin. I'm the quartermaster here. It's my job to make sure the camp remains both well supplied and well maintained. We have come far, risked too much to worry solely about our own hides, for there is much more at stake. We finally managed to set up camp after marching through all that snow. I hope that whoever lived here doesn't mind us using the buildings for shelter. Gods, this place is cold. We have our share of chilly nights on the steppe, but I've never experienced anything like this before. The machinists reckon all the interior heating was just left there, consuming ceruleum until there was none left. There were even pots set on stoves while the food inside burned to soot. In any case, even if we had plenty of fuel, it's the Magitech itself that's buggered. We'll have to either look for spare parts or make them ourselves. Greetings, Storm Sergeant, First Class Son. If you wish to know aught of the current situation, you come to the right person. The name's Rochella of the Alameda Resistance. When I was offered a place in the Ishbar contingent, I left at the opportunity. If you're wondering why I'd be so eager to aid the people of Garlermo, the reason is simple. Like the rest of Garabana, my hometown, a waypoint off used by travelers was under occupation. Times were hard, but they could have been a lot worse if not for one particular Imperial. Although his fellow soldiers were quick to dish out a beating, he stood up for the townspeople with regard for his own reputation and safety. Thanks to him, my family made it to the end of the war more or less unscathed, and this is my way of returning the favor. It's not only the temper that need care. A fair few of our own were wounded on the Magna Glacis. If only we hadn't needed to defend the supply caravan, a lot more of us could have joined the front line. Between guarding our supplies and keeping an eye on the temperate as they undergo treatment, we've certainly kept busy. Don't you worry, nothing gets past me. We must remain as mobile as we are able in such temperatures as these. I fear that if we stand still for too long, the ice and snow may freeze our very bones. Don't go chatting this about, but the truth is, during the occupation of Alamigo, I was an Imperial conscript. Still, for all the sleepless nights they've given me, my experiences during those long, awful years might finally be put to good use. I knew we'd find the capital in a bit of a poor state, what with the aftermath of the Civil War and veritable army of darkness skulking about, but this is just ridiculous. No one said anything about automated war machina stalking the ruins. Mind you, if anyone's brave enough to take them on, they should serve as a decent source of spare parts and whatnot. The machinists will be chuffed to bits. Most of the members have lent their tears, and the Bojan resistance have joined the other scouts in the field. And since Lys and Pippin's troops are already keeping an eye on the airships, we of the steppe shall guard the camp against intruders. Though in truth it is we who are intruding in these lands. Standing atop an enormous edifice to cast their eyes down upon their dominion, these Telepari and the Oranir have much in common. Yet even Magni and his ilk would not stoop to stealing the minds of their subjects and enemies. When the time comes to storm their stronghold, I shall lead the charge and leave naught but ash in my wake. Searching for survivors, if they are truly strong, they will not require our aid. While you are gone, we will guard the camp against any man or beast foolish enough to challenge us. My duty as sentinel will afford me little opportunity to seek my Nama, though perhaps one among our ranks, come bearing a hot meal or such, will prove worthy. As a lot of Guardians strongly object to our presence here, we must be vigilant for those who might endanger the camp. Okay. I think I've explored the camp fairly well. Oh wait, there's more. We Domans owe our freedom to the Eorzean Alliance, and I was one of many to volunteer for this endeavor. We will be glad to lend our assistance wherever it is needed. Wait, I've already talked to you. Several of the Temple Knights are off on reconnaissance at present. We Ishgardians have seen our fair share of Faust in the past years, so we are more than ready for the icy bout. The Hrothgar from Rosa, on the other hand, are having a devil of a time adjusting to these chilly climes. The warming stones we sent them seem to have helped, though. I wonder if I have... Well, no, I have a job class in Warrior, and he's not here. I just got lucky being a Dragoon. Okay. Gods be good. If it's this cold with Tatsuru's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when we meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. So, it's into the Alpenrhein we go, but where do we even start looking in such a place? How long have I been streaming? Hour 20. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. And we're back. Well, ho, chums, been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order. Since you asked where to scour the Elbrum for survivors, what? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you find someone? You'd take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Great. Another one of these quests. I thought I was done with it since Heavensward, but I guess not. Hey. Do. The few buildings I can see don't appear to be residences. They may still warrant investigation, though. I'm surprised by how many wild beasts there are roaming about the place. Perhaps now that the soldiers have gone, they are free to wander and forage as they please. I spy with my little telescope A massive sheep thing, or maybe it's a cow. Not what we're after either way. Is that an ether current? Ah, no, just a wind sprite. I've thought the same thing so many times. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. Below, what do I see over Hillock? There's no mistaking it. That's a girl. A survivor. Show me. Over there, behind the tree. It looks like she's running away from something, though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress, a rather fetching one at that. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we shouldn't be able. But we should be able to follow her footprints. I'll let Lucia know where you're headed. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful, thank you, but won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. Unless we forget, the very reason we are here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. Okay. Why are you still here? If you dally any longer, you will miss your chance to play the hero. A trail of fresh footprints leads east. The footprints appear to be the same that you saw previously, and they lead toward the building. According to the label here, this place was used by those involved with extracting ceruleum. We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? As Emmeline said, it's highly unlikely she was running away from us. Even so, we mustn't do anything to startle her. For all she knows, we're soldiers of an invading army. So we need to be careful not to give the wrong impression. The girl in green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out her from a distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It would be safer to get close first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Follow the girl from a safe distance. The objective will infiltrate. Ah. Thank you. Thank you, universe, for letting me get through that. Phew, still in one piece. Ah! Who are you? Stay back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Please, we just want to talk. I'm Alphino. This is my sister Alize and our good friend Yo. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the one responsible for all this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telepari are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Gollum World, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy. Our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who have made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telepari's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with the introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name's Lucina. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question ever since that night and that roar, the terrible roar and the screams. I was screaming too, I think. Excuse me. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran past friends, people I had known all my life, eyes vacant, dead staring at the sky. Others were made mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor Spoils, a mansion for retired soldiers, or it was, but now me and a few others are borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were. The truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help, can you? Of course, whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. Lucina says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our homes. Having said that, were you to provide us with the means of heating the place as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word? If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alize? We'll have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under that gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the bower. Yes, yes, do as you will. Hmm. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Before the Civil War, I was a student. The others were officials of some sort, I think. Even after all this time together, we hardly know the first thing about each other. What I do know is this: we're Garleans. When times are hard, we stick together no matter what. I can feel my fingers again. What they need most is a decent meal. Leave food back at the camp, but there's the distance to consider. All's well, with food in my belly and a song in my heart. I can't treat this frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make us use of Amelian's tinctures, the ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure that everyone gets one? If there's something that can be said for Lord Amelian's, he's not one to leave others at the mercy of the cold. Of course, being a man of Portheus, I'm sure he is more aware than most of its dangers. But I sense that is not the only reason. Ever since the warm welcome we received at Camp Dragonhead, the hospitality he and his brothers have afforded us has been nothing short of exemplary. Perhaps they aspire to live up to the example set by Lord Edmont. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. Warming tincture. I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard of aught of the city? Though calling that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food and production, water purification, the machitech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, cerulean Langens is full of the stuff, for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. Many of our ancestors succumbed to the bitter cold when they first came to these lands, much as we are now. But with the discipline and order, any obstacle can be overcome when every man knows his duty and is held account if he shirks it. Without a hierarchy, this is what we are reduced to. Ah, all is well. Yes, never better. Oh, what sweet liberation is this? Is it poisoned by any chance? Ha! 'Twas a joke, a joke. Ha ha. If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep. So said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. We are the blessed damned to bear witness to the fall of a great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the war. When the morning came, Garlemort was no more. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disservice remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not my conscience preserved. Now I wait with my fellow coward for our final judgment. Deep. If you listen very carefully, you can hear it, the sound of my stomach eating itself, would that it could devour my soul. These people are down. What do you want? A tincture. May as well drink it, I suppose. It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is far from the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, surfaced from locust almenodas. It is not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon, an ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amonas. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hoped to take back what was once ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Oh dear. Yes, I'm sure of it. Empress Varus would not be defeated so easily. I have faith you will deliver us from this madness, your radiance. By your grace shall Garlemald be reborn. What's that? So this is what you gave the others. Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Laterum? I saw Legatus Vergalia's troops heading towards the Magna Glacius a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it, and Vergalia and her men are all there now. So how did you reach the Magna Glacius? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships? Then there might be a way to. Lucina, where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say. You must be imagining things. Everything's out here. Perhaps a baby Almasi has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you have a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose jobs was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange, lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to our camp. If the others still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there's might be another way to pay the tappers. Ah, yes, of course. If I see any, I'll be sure to show him away. To reach Tapper's Den, you have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take a long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However, you decide to head there, please be careful. I'm not sure what else the tapers might need besides provisions, though I dare say that capable fighters like yourself can offer them other forms of compensation, holding dangerous beasts, that sort of thing. Who goes there? How did he find us? What do you mean that I stand out like a sore thumb? If the purebloods over at Victor Spoils haven't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck-up arseholes, though they could come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Looks like the foot's on the other foot now that the capital's gone to shite. So they resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. If they think we'll give in to intimidation, they've got another think coming. There you are. Just after you left, Zena asked me to go and catch up with you in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I've a little experience transporting barrels of ceruleum. So this is Tappers then. Well then, after you. Who are you? What happened to the guards? About that. Yeah. Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hell would you pass up the chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess, none of you Garland. You were brought here from other lands. Garabania, Yangxia, Bolsha, and Dalmasca, to name but a few. Excuse me. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of Anne, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. But this old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garler mode, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is Cerilia's engines, still sustaining us even with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear your expertise in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Ah, wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much else these days. What with the city in ruins, we take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps us stave off the cold, it does sod all about other hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we manage to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us, thanks to the Empire. And the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're saying for the time being, long as there's a need for a civilian, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garland World as we know it is gone for good. Gone for good. If you're wondering why we post guards outside, it's because we've had trouble with other refugees, and I don't mean the ones at Victor's spoils. Some of them come bearing weapons and won't take no for an answer. As for the 2 guards you met on the way in, I'll tell them what we've discussed once they've recovered from the beating you gave them. Oh, okay, so I didn't kill them. Come to think of it, maybe we should ask your contingent to send some bandages and healing balm. How the bloody hells did you find us here, and who are you? Come here from across the ice fields, did you? Then we'd better hope you weren't followed by any of them crazed soldiers or were done for. Regardless of what the Isbard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people? Their lives, their stories, should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. Halfway to max. 5 more levels and a max level. Nice. The fire we built at Victor's spoils won't last forever, and it's too dangerous for Lucina and the others to search for more kindling. If we can get them some ceruleum, that'll be one less thing for them to worry about, for a time at least. So, you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What, those purebloods at Victor's spoils sent you? To turn their enemies for help. To their enemies for help. They must be more desperate than I thought. Then again, Lucina's got her little sister to think about. A sister, but we only saw Lucina and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Lucina at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them on our way, you hear? I can't for the life of me think why Lucina would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we've delivered the ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. I don't know the details, but she mentioned a sister 3 years her junior who's in poor health. That being the case, I thought her people would be willing to cough up some supplies in exchange for ceruleum. But maybe they didn't have anything after all. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphanode would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. There we go. Ah, damn it. Damn it all. They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us, we know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are, waiting in the wings for us to show our weakness, and you swoop. Here to help? What rot. All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our land, get your revenge. You're wrong, that's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later, we've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true, Lucina was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now, there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours, and if you think I'll tell you you're a fool, I'd never give up on my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot. Her sister's ill, the empty bottle proved it. Prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry, or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere, how could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. You invade our homeland, taint it with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them since the moment you arrived. That's right, Garlemald's. People from Garlemald usually can't use ether. So magic to them is just like foreign. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Lucina and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out here, so that's where we'll start. Rob us of our lands, rob us of our pride. No, I'll not allow it. Better to die free than live in servitude and shame. The girls say the same. The girls would say the same. I will follow as soon as I can. After I've given them some basic treatment, I'll take the men inside the house and use a light sleeping enchantment to help them rest and ensure that they don't cause any more trouble. I'm sorry, but this is something I must do. Two sets of fresh footprints. Young woman, judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Right. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place. It's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphinaud's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. Gee. Eh. I got lucky. The wet paper, half burned in the snow, appears to be a flyer for a theater group, though the run of shows advertised has long since ended. Did not get lucky. The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The blood trail leads eastwards. There we go. The two bodies are already cold. Oh. Damn.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why? Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold. I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there's something to the tale after all. I want to understand, so I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
There must have been something we could have done, but what? Should we have never... Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? If only we had a chance to talk things over, but it's too late now. Too late by far. We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do now is make our report to Lucia and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger no more. Come. That was heavy. Alright. I want to see if I can get that ether right. It's underground. Okay. Well, that'll come up later. We mustn't forget to send some of our allies to Tapper's Den. We still owe them for the bottle of ceruleum. Would you mind giving Lucia a full report? Treatment of the tempered is proceeding as well as can be expected. If there's anything to report, you'll be sure to know. Though I gather you have a report of your own to deliver. Is something the matter? The twins look out of sorts and you two seem a bit off. Forgive me for saying, but the three of you appear rather drained since your return. Is there aught I might be of assistance? Alice and Elfnil tell me they have finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrain from saying much more than that. Clearly, clearly they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask for your account?
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Popularis, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances, one after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the 3rd Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvus is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the 1st Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing. presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory. And that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
The Tower of Babel.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varus spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a temple knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face, how their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
Said your farewells, have you? The lowly task of keeping watch over provisions would not normally benefit the son, but these being unusual circumstances, I will let no man take that which is not by right theirs. Perhaps it is unwise to volunteer for a mission so soon after the previous disaster. Nevertheless, I shall not squander this opportunity. I know. This won't bring back Lucina or her sister. Taking the same risks, making the same mistakes. It's possible, but better to try than to give up every time. We captured the boy as he was about to make off with our food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat, reward him for his boldness. Julius Prior Norbanus, it is unusual for one so young to achieve such a high rank, very unusual. His uniform identifies him as a member of the First Legion, which has a particularly fierce reputation. Whoever his superior may be, I advise you to approach them with caution. They are resilient in the face of hardship, you as well. But good intentions and stubborn determination alone will not be enough to bring our mission to a successful conclusion. Be on your guard. I worry they were not in the best state of mind to volunteer for this undertaking, but what's done is done. I know you will take good care of them, and yourself as well, I trust. You will be received as invited. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence over all else. Remember this. Thancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. As I said before, Thancred can be quite the warrior, but rest assured he only has your best interests at heart. Are you and your children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it as an act of hostility. And not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. One sec. I've been told I'm running out of storage space. Okay. I should have more storage space now. Alright. Can I go through here? Probably not. Okay. Where do you think the headquarters are? I assume there are a few others besides him and this commander he mentioned. We will do only as instructed. After all, this is what we have been striving for ever since we arrived. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alize and he's Alpha Node, and last but not least, there's Yo. Yo, where have I heard that name before? No matter, Alpha Node and Alize will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers. So you're to run, not saunter. Run towards the situation. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Ready to make a dash for the station? If it's conversation you want, save it until we've arrived. Having second thoughts, I'm very well return and regroup where we started. What were you waiting for? Let's get this over with. Whenever you're ready, or just give a word to Julius. No shuffling along out of snail's space to give your comrades a chance to pursue us. You're to run as fast as you can, understand? Okay, well that worked. We're here, I think. It's nothing like the ones in Thanolin. This is it, the first stop, that is. Good, it looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters?